12 News. Breaking news.
We begin with that breaking news tonight as two 14-year-old girls arrested in connection to the murder of a 93-year-old Augusta woman. KBI announcing the arrest this afternoon after nearly 1 year since Joanne Johnson was found dead in her home.
Let's get right to Brandon Stitt live in Augusta tonight as he's been talking with family and neighbors. Brandon?
Yeah, Mike, it was almost a year ago in this house behind me that 93-year-old Joanne Johnson was found by her family brutally murdered. The family telling me tonight that they are in shock and still processing the arrest of those two 14-year-old girls. Now, it was Labor Day weekend last year when Joanne's family found her body in this home. They described the murder as brutal and calculated. Augusta Police, KBI, and now the FBI continued a nearly year-long investigation. A $10,000 reward was also offered. Now today, in shocking news, two 14-year-old girls arrested, both being held on charges of first-degree murder with formal charges pending. The family and neighbors tell me that they've lived in fear for an entire year, wondering who was responsible. Now, still heartbroken, they're relieved to hear of an arrest.
We just absolutely loved her, and this was the most devastating thing for our block, for our neighborhood. Still heartbroken that this whole thing had to happen. Those kids, my heart is just broken.
And now, because of their ages, police have not released the names of those suspects. The family also saying that they do not know the girls and they have not been told of a motive. But they do say that no matter the age, that the murder was brutal and punishment should be severe. Mike, Rachel.
Brandon, thank you. And just in our newsroom here late tonight, Augusta Public Schools issuing a statement now on the arrest of those 14-year-old girls in connection to the case. The superintendent, Matt Ward, saying that while the school is not involved in the investigation, it is fully cooperating with law enforcement, and goes on to say news like this can be difficult. But I want to stress that the incident under investigation took place nearly 1 year ago away from the school. He says parents can contact the school if they have concerns about how this news might affect your student.